Welcome back, everybody, to Blood Rush League Season 2. And if we just looked at this correctly, we loaded into the Cold Tower. And this is not a perk you'd usually see on Cold Tower on Mr. Ace Visconti. It is the, oh my gosh, Visionary. That is the name of the perk. And we just did see Mr. Kenneth Chase in the main building, also known as the Clown. So we have a comp Clown on the Cold Tower, as we see. Actually, well, yeah, TK and DK's loading in. But anyway, with me tonight is Untrained Puppy as well. New stay here, but how are you doing?
Welcome,
Untrained
welcome. I'm
Puppy?
good. Like you said, we do see the Clown here. You did obviously mention Visionary prior. I don't think they're allowed Deja on this set. I do think that's why we're seeing Visionary. Obviously, very peculiar and comp to be seeing that kind of perk, but I do think that's the reason for it. How do you really think this set's going to go? Obviously, Clown not having a lot of pressure early game. What do you think he's going to have to do here?
I think our Clown's got to get it down, which exactly as I say that he gets it down onto Toy there, and actually it's going to be on the top side of the map. So gonna just take maybe a hook close to 11, it seems, and we also did see a totem. We see the hex icon appear on the ace. So there is a totem on the map, but not unsure yet if it's ruin or not. And it
And we
seems to
do see
not
the
be
ace
ruin, so
getting
probably
spotted.
not favor.
Hopefully, we'll be switching to the killer FOV here soon. Be able to get a glance at his perks, see what his strategy is here, and see how he's going to play this out. But like you said, he does have an early hook here, and that's really good. And I think he's going to have to force second. Do see him continuously kicking them gens. Maybe he's running eruption. Who knows? Just wanted to get as much info as possible, really here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He just really needs to get as much pressure as he can before the survivor hits second. As you probably want to cap it out at this point anyway. He's been capping it out, so he's gonna be losing some gen soon. But yeah, I think what he'll need is a strong gen setup, which I would assume since he hooked in the top side of the map that there's gonna be 3 gen top and maybe even a 4 gen as we see the mid gen getting worked on as well. So Mr. Chase just camping out until second as we see gen. Oh, 2 gens.
2 gens popping, in
the
fact.
background.
Really good for the survivor side here. Tecay is going to have some work to do here on Killer. Going to have to get some extra downs. And we do see now finding the ace, I do believe that was. He's going to try and get the tag here. Some smart pre-drops, I would assume. Yep, smart pre-drop there. Leaving that chase there, going back to check on the hook, or maybe not. Going to check on the generator. Really good stuff here. We've yet to see another tag. What's the best play from him here, do you think?
I think his best play here is to just try and control this mid generator while really forcing out the kill or at least a trade onto Nia here on the 11 tile. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to protect both because we did see that mid gen was on very high percentages, and Nia does have still around 20 seconds left on the hook, so I don't know if it would be possible to defend both. But no signs of life from any survivors around the hook, so might actually let Nia die here. Going for a trade might not necessarily be the best play. The survivor might just get killed quickly. So yeah, it might just be the death onto Nia here at 3 gens remaining. And this is actually a 4-5. Okay, I was gonna say 5 gen top side, but the mid gen pop. So maybe even 4 gen top side with the logs as well as Nia dies on hook. The 2 gens
Good
remaining.
situation
I'm gonna
for the
be curious.
survivors here. Yeah, you're going to be curious. We do see the Hex
Yeah.
in there near the hook. Not the best for the Clown here. But like you said, if they do let that Nia die, which they have, then I guess it's not going to be a problem. Seeing another gen pop. Bad situation here for the Clown, but we do see he is running a late game build. He is running Noeds. That could come in clutch. Do we think that's going to net him some extra hooks, get him some extra value? Maybe put his team in a much better position than they are at the moment, because right now it's not looking good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely the node's going to be very very nice in the back pocket, but I'm sure Metox here on the Clown has been scrimming with his team TK enough to kind of understand that getting a 4K on the Clown is going to be very difficult, at least with generators remaining. So I guess that's why the node has been brought. As Ace does run towards this mid here, I think he did have a power here, and Metox was swing by what a hit. So it's actually really huge because again, bringing the node kind of means that you do want to commit for as many hook stages as possible. So Alta here does take the Shack window and just taking the pre-drop on the Shack pallet, throw that pallet down and try and buy as much as time. buy as much time as
as much time
possible
as
for his
possible.
team. Yeah, to get that last
So
generator
far,
going,
he's
which
doing
is
really, really well. Like you said, he did pre-drop the pallet. We are going to see him go for the window vault here. I think he's going to get cut off by Metox. Does manage to get the hit here, leading to a down. We're going to see a fresh hook here on the ace in basement as well, I do believe. No, he chooses not to go for basement. Interesting play. I think maybe he's wanting to keep an eye on the gens here, keep an eye on what's going on, get a little bit of a visual. And we do see another gen
Okay,
pop, and that's the last one.
that's non-pain.
Nail in the coffin. Now we're going to see Noed
Yeah, that's really
coming into
unfortunate.
play.
Very unfortunate timing for our clan not being able to get that last pain resonance down. That would have been able to delay the game for another around 15 seconds. Unfortunately, that just didn't come in, but at least it does have the note as Puppy was just discussing about, and we were discussing about just a bit ago. And I think this means that the down will probably occur onto Steve, and maybe even the slug here because of the no-ed, but actually deciding to pick up does Metox, and we'll just take the hook on the 11 gate, and maybe our survivors will be looking to try and get the other gate at 7 open, and maybe even go for the save and cleanse on Noed. But seeing the Noed online, maybe it's not going to be possible as it's a bit near the hook, I would say.
Yeah,
Metox
I think
is
their
looking
best
around
play
though.
here is definitely probably to leave and just obviously take the 2K on the killer side. Metox would be happy with that, I think. It's not really worth risking it for the pull here, I don't think. Like you said, the hex really, really close to the hook there, and it could just end up in a bit of a snowball. So yeah, I think they've just taken the option to leave here. Really good play
This will
and
be
performance from both sides.
solid 7 stage performance on the clan. I'm not going to be entirely sure if Metox is happy with that, but it's what's happened, and we're going to have to see if TK survivors can meet a 7 stage win condition as we go into a short intermission.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We do have part 2 here of this clown set. Welcome to Blood Rush League. It is going to be an intense matchup. As we do see here, Decay is going to be taking Killer side. The previous result was a 7th-stage result for Tecay, who was previously on Killer. Really good result. Never really going to manage to get a 4K, very unlikely, as a clown. And we do see us starting off this match. Welcome in Tavos as well, my favorite caster as well. How do you think they're going to play things out in this one? Obviously, we did see the builds before, very sort of end game style. What do you think they're going to do here? What's the plan?
What's the plan for the clan is to try and get the first down as quickly as possible, and that will probably be the case as we see Renato taking the purple bottles here and won't be able to make the other filler pallet. So he'll be taking the down into the corrupt, and actually we do see exactly the same build from Jiggy here from DK's killer side. And yes,
Identical builds. Great minds do things alike, I suppose.
yes, they do have a chance to see each other's builds as well. So it's probable that DK had just copied TK's build after seeing the first game pan out. But the first hook will be in the basement, so no pain res. But this will be a lot easier to tunnel out if our survivors do decide to get the rescue onto our Renato here. But Jiggy actually confident that no one's around for the save. Does actually push a bit towards that gen on 4 there, maybe just trying to suss out anyone.
It could potentially be maybe a strategic play, maybe hooking in the basement on purpose to kind of hide the pain res for a little bit longer, maybe come as a bit of a surprise to the survivors. I could be wrong, but potentially it could be a strategic play. But you see the Hex Totem there mid-map, not the best placement, but not the worst either. Like you said, running Blood Favor as well, and that's going to come in clutch. Do we think the survivors are going to bother cleansing it, wasting the time, or do we think we're going to see them more just focus mainly on gen progress? And obviously they're going to have to try and potentially get this unhook here, which isn't a really bad spot. What would you say our survivors have to work on here?
I feel like they should get the blood favor cleansed. If they are going to get the basement save anyway, because if you do not cleanse the blood favor, then you cannot really drop the shack pallet as soon as the unhook happens. So you won't really be able to make any distance. As we see 2 gens pop in the background, so quite an identical start from both our killers here from DK and TK. But the difference is that basement hook will kind of limit Jiggy's vision, as you can't really see into the basement. So someone already could be down in the basement waiting to get the unhook there, as Jiggy is already very far away. And actually deciding to check on the blood favor totem, but no one's on it. So I'm not really entirely sure what survivors are doing here, but probably sitting gens as we see scratch marks on 4.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I think, like you said, they're focusing mainly on gens, which is obviously really, really good. They've got a win con to achieve, and not worrying too much about the unhook here. We are going to see Chase being pursued on the Claudette here. And we do get a first tag relatively early on, although obviously 3 gens have passed. We're going to have to try and see them follow up. We're not going to see a pre-drop. Just running through, of course, Blood Favor taking effect. That's why. Pardon me there. Yeah, we do see the window vault here. We're going to see a tag. We're going to see a down. It's just when right now. She's in a really bad situation. Losing that 50 there. Really unlucky.
Really unlucky, but at least they got the basement safe in the background, so Renato will stay in the trial for a bit longer. But I do like what Jiggy is doing here. Just getting the stages, maybe understanding the win condition of another only 4 stages required to try and meet what TK's killer has performed in the previous trials. We see scratch marks on the top mid. Maybe Jiggy will decide to commit onto the bottom side of the map. Actually, we do see another survivor. So playing aggressive now in the 4v1, I guess, is quite logical, as everyone has been reset at this point. Shackpilot dropped that. Actually, I'm not entirely sure why. That was a bit strange, but
That is an interesting play, definitely. I don't remember seeing a chase at Shaka. I must have been imagining it. But like you said, it has been thrown nonetheless. We do see the clown breaking that pallet, knowing that somebody's around, and it is in fact Renato. He was hanging around in the basement, it would appear. And yeah, this is kind of bad being caught out of position here. As we saw earlier, I do believe he's on death hook, no? So this is a really bad situation with him being caught out of position here.
And no finesse available for Renato means that he will take the tag over the supposed god filler, which is Jiggy is proving why it's perhaps unsafe, especially against the clan, and actually managing to get the down onto Renato. So good usage of the bottles from Jiggy there. Will secure, I believe, the first kill of the match. And actually, this will be a prime opportunity to use the second stack of the pain resonance, which I do believe just came through. You did see the pain resonance drop from 3 to 2. So it'll be another 20% started to completely taken off on the highest progress generator. And actually, we do see this generator and 9 on very high progress. So actually, our survivors do have a lot of gen pressure going on, but not immediately showing as no gen has popped yet.
They're very actively working on the gens right now across the map, obviously splitting the pressure, doing really well at that. We do see the clown here kicking the gen, and I think they were working on one near the logs as well, if I'm not mistaken. We did see some scratch marks over in that direction, and right now they're just trying to not end up in chase, trying to keep the progress on the gens and keep their distance, keep eyes on the killer. They're doing really well and making this really hard for Jiggy on killer, and yeah, kudos to them for that. I think we're going to see them maybe beat this win con, but it's really going to have to depend on the next couple of chases.
It will really have to depend as Jiggy actually decides to commit onto our ace here, meaning that they just give up the generator at 9. Actually, ace will just play for the for the health state saving there, running back to the generator. But I feel like that's a bit of a questionable play as Clown just takes the tag and leaves now. Maybe just understanding that defending this large generator might be a little bit more important. But actually taking the chase on the healthy survivor, this is a bit strange as they do have the node in the back pocket. So the generator was done. There's not really any reason to try and get an injury on the healthy survivor. So I feel like Jiggy should just try and commit for a down onto an injured survivor. That would make that the 5th hook stage if they got the hook stage successful. And yeah,
it would definitely help him with the hook stages and the win con. But he needs to get this final down, like you were saying. He catches the ace in, I was going to say out of position, but actually he manages to get that pallet stun. Really good for the ace as he manages to make distance on the back sort of end of main. And the clown not bothering to continue that chase, instead going for somebody else. I think using the speed bottles there to get a bit of pace, which is a really good play. And we do see them going over towards logs near that infinite. He's going to be checking on Killer Shack Gen. Obviously, this is a really dangerous gen for them to be working with the pallet already being thrown.
Split burst though from our Claudette will mean that they do make it towards the edge of 7 here, but I think they have nothing to really work with because they don't.
Yeah, there was no resource there at all.
But actually, this generator might get completed before the pain res again. This is very close last game, but this game might not be the case as the Claudette does successfully get hooked.
And the pain res does come in. Oh, that's just unlucky on part of the killer.
Oh my gosh, Ray, that's crazy.
You see him get to the closest hook, but unfortunately it wasn't a scourge hook. Well, you're going to see, like you said before, same build as last game. Noed coming in clutch here, and he's going to have to get some additional hooks here. How many more hooks right now does he need to beat the win con? Does he need the Claudette to go second?
The Claudette's already hit second here, so if that means that our Lava Croft does go down on the main building, or Ace went down and cooked, that would be the win condition met for Jiggy here on the Clown set. But I'm not sure there's going to be much they can do, but actually this is smart, understanding the win condition and playing around the no one escapes death. So Claudette actually deciding to take the body block, but actually Jiggy does get the Bloodlust 1 and the haste of Noed, meaning that they make the window swing as well. This is huge for
Wow.
Jiggy here, and I think this will secure the win for them.
And the Claudette hanging around, but she might want to make some distance, or else she's going to be tagged as well, giving the killer an extra kill.
Yeah, I think
We
I don't
we
think
do
our
see the killer
survivors
kind
can
of
really play
proxying
second here.
around. Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
know he
cooked.
did.
Pun intended. They're cooked. We're going to see that hook on the hill, I do believe. And it's a really good position. No, he doesn't go over the hill. Okay, I'm questioning that play. Maybe it's to get a better line of sight at the gates. Maybe that's why he's hooking more central near main. So he can maybe get some extra hooks. I mean, like you said, that's WinCon right there. He's won for his team
That's
and
win
put on
con,
an
yeah.
amazing performance at that. But hell, if he can get
Now,
some extra hooks, why not try it?
I'm actually a bit mistaken there, as that the win con is meant if our lava does die on hook, because this is the sixth hook stage of the
Oh,
trial. So our survivors will try their best trying to get the reset off. We did see the cleanse of the Noed around 15 seconds ago, and we did see the reset just then on the ace as well. So we will have to try and see if, as TK, um, if they can get the two-man save here on the Lara and try and preserve the first set point. Um, or if we'll go to Decay here, because really all Jiggy needs to do is just sit under the hook, try and prevent a two-man save from coming in.
high pressure situations both sides. We do see the save coming in, just doing a full on trade. Kind of dangerous here. We're going to see the Lara take a tag, obviously having BT. If the killer can
Smart.
find a way to just force locker, he gets it over and done with quicker, avoiding the BT. But I don't think they're going to let him have that.
I don't think it'll be. Oh my gosh, Survivor's actually playing extremely patient here. Actually resetting behind the main buildings. So this is excellent play there, forcing our clan to go pressure the Survivors. But actually, time is starting to tick out on the end game collapse. We can see that there's only about a minute left in the trial, as long as no. Um, oh, and the heal comes up on the lava. So I think this will actually be the potential win from TK's Survivor side here. Actually managing to get the reset off means that they're stuck on the fifth hook stage, or maybe not actually, because I think Metox
We see the
did go
call
to
out of
second.
position here.
Wait, hold on. If Metox went down here, this will be the tie condition. So I think this is what our Survivor team
You
is,
said it, and
I
I do
guess,
believe it's happened.
accepted.
The Claudette has gone down, and I think, like you said, it's going to be tie condition here. Really good performance from both
Tie condition,
sides,
man.
and I'm assuming 1-1 right now, if that's how that
It's gonna
works.
be Yeah, it's going to be tied. So we'll
Oh,
have to replay the set as we come back later on, and if it's going to be tied again, then there'll be a decision made from referee which point the set point is going to. But we'll have to be
yeah.
going to a short intermission as we go to the Cenobite set, which is coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, as we head into our next trial. This will be the Cenobite set on the Becker's Yard. Jiggy again playing the Cenobite. They were on the clan last set, and now they're playing for DK on the Cenobite, as they are actually going into a tied first set. And so they'll be going 0-0 set points into the second set here on the Cenobite. And Renato does get found at Shack and dropping that real quick. Yet again, I'm joined with Untrained Puppy here as my partner caster tonight. So, what are you looking forward to seeing in this set, Puppy?
I'm looking forward to seeing how his playstyle is with this particular killer. Obviously, we saw him last match on Clown. He did really, really well. They almost got the win, but unfortunately, as you said, we did end up on a tie set, and it was very, very close. Obviously, this is a very high skill cap killer, so it's a lot of it's going to come down to kind of memory of where the box is going to spawn and how they can use chains and chase, and just trying to cut the survivors off as quick as possible and end the chase as early as possible, resulting in the down and obviously hooks, which obviously will aid their team in getting a much better win con. So it should be really strategic, and I'm excited to see how the survivors deal with that.
Yeah, unfortunately for our killer here, the Jiggy spent a lot of time chasing our Venato around Crane and now actually missing the swing as well over the slow vault on the pallet. And so be the down onto Venato, but our Venato has bought a lot of time for their team. But Pinhead, though, on the contrary, does find the box, so a bit of slowdown, passive slowdown will be applied onto other survivors. And our first generator actually does pop in the background, so this is actually very good. That means the pain resonance will hit a different generator apart from the I presume there's a double generator that was going on in the background. So good start for our survivors here, managing to get the first generator done, and we'll be going into the mid game now, looking to see what our survivors will do to attack the situation. But yeah, we do see the unhook coming into Renato.
Was that
Actually, a sprint
balance
burst.
play from the? Oh, sprint
Balance.
burst. Okay, I
Oh
thought
yeah,
it sort of
balance.
dropped.
No,
It
no,
was it. Yeah,
balance. No,
yeah.
you're right. Is it
Okay.
sprint burst? Wait, hold on.
I'm pretty sure it was the
No.
balance. I saw the drop. So we do see, I believe, the balance
Yeah,
from Renato here. Interesting play. And I must say, Jiggy had
okay.
some really strange
Wait.
play there with the chains when he was on the hill. And he didn't quite get the chain, but interesting that he would think of that kind of strategy, almost a huntress-like strategy, to actually get line of sight from such a weird angle, try and get the curve on the chain. Like I said, very high skill ceiling killer. And yeah, Jiggy so far doing really well. Getting the second hook here on the Renato. Gonna have to keep the pressure on the gens, knowing this one has been worked on. Chase is gonna go near dump truck here, but Jiggy just double checking on the Renato. Know that somebody's swooping in for the save. And right now we're just gonna try and confirm kill here.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to be doing on the Cenobite is trying to confirm the kill. Unless you're, of course, trying to play for stages, which in that case you'd usually know it. But if we looked at the build, that Jiggy has brought is a very aggressive build with the Sloppy Butcher, pretty common perk on the Cenobite, along with a Ruin Undying and a Pain Resonance, of which the Undying I believe has been cleansed, but the Ruin is still active since the Undying,
You
of
would
course,
be
protected
correct
the
in
Ruin.
that Undying has been cleansed. Like you said, Sloppy Butcher is going to come in. It's going to come into effect a lot in this game, cause a lot of slowdown, make it really hard for them to reset to the point where maybe, depending on the situation, they might just not bother to reset. And that could also be really, really risky, but it's definitely going to slow things down. We do see Ruin still up. They're going to want to have to try and get rid of that as soon as possible. And at the pallet drop coming in clutch, I think we're going to see the Renato go down unless they can use the comms and everything and get lined up and take a hit, then we're going to see him go down. And we do, in fact, see the ace coming in really, really good. But now Renato is kind of zoned with only having this filler. Is he going to get away with it? Are we going to see a kill here? What do you think?
I think we will indeed see the kill here. Just spoke a little bit early, but yeah, the down will happen. He did try and slow vault, but Jiggy
And
just
we do see a
swing at
gen
that.
popping there in the background, their third gen. Decay doing really well, but obviously now it's a 3v1. Only one gen left, so it's not too bad. Uh, how would you say this is going for Jiggy on the Cenobite side? Obviously, expected result here, I'm assuming, is quite similar to our clown set. I'm not expecting 4K from a Cenobite. Expected is 6, 7 stage, I assume?
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. When I did see EU play the set out around a year ago, I did see most of the time Cenobites did bring Noah in the back pocket, which we don't see on Jiggy, but I guess perhaps they were not expecting to see such quality play from Survivor side because we did see Renato taking first chase extremely well. Actually, the fake of Ace as well on this pallet will buy more time for his team to work the last generator of the trial. And
We
he
do see
only
a
does
miss
have
there,
one health spectre.
unfortunately. Oh, he did get the chain. Or is that passive one? Because I do feel like it missed. But either way, the end result is the same, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see a down here on the ace. Chiggy managing to get some late game pressure here and going to have to hold on to that as much as he can. Uh, I can't quite tell whether that was a pain res or not. You would have to
I
confirm
think it
there.
was.
We do see beautiful, beautiful. We do see there the chain on the Claudette. Obviously, God Palette has already been thrown, if I'm not mistaken. Not much to work with here. It's a very dangerous gem. We do see the sprint burst from the Claudette here, managing to make distance. Like I said, that gen in Shack is going to be really dangerous to work on. They might be better off committing to another one despite the progress.
That was a beautiful chain there from Jiggy. Getting the deep root on the ace there on the top side of the map. Actually, yeah, it is the top side of the map. And just trying to apply a little bit of passive pressure. They still do have the ruin up, so every second that a survivor is not working the generator, it is regressing by 25 0.25 charges. So a bit of passive slowdown from there, but yeah, they're just trying to play it out, and I think Jiggy does have to commit eventually, since if they don't, then Ace and Claude will reset, and then he's kind of back to square one. So he does really need to get a injury or even a down here. Actually, waiting out there, I'm not really sure why they were waiting out. He hit there,
He
but
was waiting a
luckily
life,
got down.
maybe, potentially. But I mean, they're not injured. He's
Yeah.
not waiting a dead hard. So I can only but assume that he was waiting out for a life. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, a firecracker play. Very interesting there. Trying to lose line of sight of Jiggy and not managing to get away with it, unfortunately, for our Lara here. We do see a third fresh hook here coming in for Jiggy. Can make things a little bit easier for his win con for his team, Decay. Opting not to hook close. Are we going basement here, perhaps?
Think we will try and see an attempt. Oh, okay, no. Energy playing for the pain res again, just trying to get as much slowdown going on in the trial as possible. We did see that tick down, so pain res did get applied, and our survivors again in the situation they were in before, having the two health states to work with. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to pressure the generators, as this hook is kind of a little bit closer
It's
to the
quite
shack
central, isn't it?
generator, which has
There's,
more.
yeah, there's a lot of gens near it, and like you said, he's got really good line of sight here. He can keep an eye on a lot of things. He can proxy Lara and also keep an eye on the gens, apply some pressure. Very, very close, like you said. Two Killer Shack gen, really unique angle there on the chains, but nothing came of it, unfortunately. Are we going to see him proxy here more, or would you say he has to be active on the gens?
I feel like he has to at least try to pressure the survivors off. And I don't think our survivors will try and get an unhook here unless he overcommits onto the survivor working the generator here at 11. But I feel like Lara here is just kind of forced to hit second, as survivors really need to get the percentages in and force the Jiggy to commit to a chase, which, yeah, again, you can't, if you don't force the killer to commit to a chase, then they just sit on the hook and then it's going to be 2v1. Possible 4K as well. But we'll have to see what our survivors are up to, as Jiggy is smartly using the chain to navigate
We
around
do see
his
a
Seagull. Just
confirmed
hit
second
second here.
stage there, and we're going to see maybe a tag on the ace with the chains. No, instead an M1 hit. Hopefully, we can see this resulting in another down, because Jiggy really needs to get a little bit more late game pressure for his team to ensure a good win con.
Beautiful chain.
And we do see another chain tag near that filler, but Jiggy choosing to leave it, knowing he has the pallet up and he does need to protect the survivor on hook to confirm a kill, which obviously would indicate another hook state for his team.
Yeah, it's actually a very beautiful chain there from Jiggy. Um, every time you chain a survivor in the injured state with the, I think it's the original pain add-on, it will force them into the deep wound, meaning that they're kind of forced to spend 12 seconds doing absolutely nothing except mending. So very nice chain there from Jiggy. But actually, Ace is not mended yet. I think they are working a generator, as now it does go down. So maybe this is where uh, Team TK does kind of fall apart, as Alava will be Deathhook, and I think Jiggy will just try and confirm the kill, and then
I
head into
think
the 2v1, where it's going to be
your
actually
assumption of
brutal.
a 4K might have been very on point, because it's looking that way right now. Like you said, the K kind of falling apart here, a little bit of lack of communication and being caught out of place, and it's a really dangerous spot for them right now. Do you commit to the gen? Do you try and or you just get caught out of place and probably throw here? This is a very difficult situation. I'm not quite sure what they were doing in that spot so early with the killer being right there. What do you think that play was?
I feel like it was just I feel like Ace kind of dooming himself to the last chase here, because really with an active ruin as well in Sloppy, there's no real way you're going to be able to do anything as Ace does get down, or even reaching the 4-lane pallet. So it'll be pretty clean 4K1 for Jiggy here on the Vector's Yard on Xenobite. Now we've seen some extraordinary results from other Xenobite sets, but I think 4K1 is definitely still quite solid, and
Mm.
going to be some work for DK's killer to try and meet. TK's killer to try and meet, as this was not their pick. So we're gonna have to see if, I believe it's gonna be Metox on the Xenobite can achieve a similar result. But Unchained Puppy, what do you think his build is gonna be?
Hmm. I would say, like, obviously, pain res is very, very common. are they allowed eruption in this rule set? Because I feel like you'd get a lot more value out of that personally. Obviously, you do see Pain Res being really effective, but you're getting more information out of something like eruption. If they're allowed something along the lines of that, that might help get some more kills and get a little bit more pressure early game. But obviously, it depends what they're allowed. But I would say if they are allowed something along the lines of eruption, that would be a really good play and could result in more downs potentially.
Yeah, we'll just go into a short intermission as we set up the next match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Blood Rush League. We do have our second part of this set. It is going to be Tecay on Killer versus Decay. No pun intended with the names, ladies and gentlemen. And it is going to be a Cenobite set here on Wrecker's Yard, if I'm not mistaken. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my favourite caster, Tabo. How do you think this set's going to go? We saw a 4K1 previously. How do you think Tecay is going to do? What kind of build are we seeing them use here?
Welcome back, partner. We did see exactly the same build, so I feel like DK and TK are playing a bit of the back and forth thing where you just pick whatever build that their previous skill has brought along. Because if it worked for them, should probably work for you as well. As we do see Metox actually in the Cenobite, so Metox actually doing the work for TK, as we do see Jiggy doing a similar performance on other killers for DK. As Venato yet again does take the first chase and actually the first down as well. Actually,
Really
there is
early
a slight
down.
difference in the build.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait. There was corrupt on the last one, no?
No, there was a
I
sloppy
do believe.
butcher actually.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
sloppy
yeah,
butcher
no,
over
you were
corrupt,
correct.
yeah.
I, corrupt is always a bit of a. Unless you are not very confident in yourself, it's good to have security, obviously, but I don't really value corrupt in that kind of way. It does slow things down, obviously, a little bit and force them kind of across the map. But obviously, we saw it down there really early, so he's just lost value out of it, unfortunately. And we do see the chase being pursued on the Steve. No filler pallet does obviously get distance because of the hit there, but I'm not sure he's got a lot to work with. We might see another down here if he can't make it to pallet. It does manage to make it to pallet there. This is going to be where it's going to have to be mind gamed, and the end result is whether he does manage to get the down. Cough, cough. Whether he manages to get the down.
Yeah,
Vino.
and does
Vino,
something
can
going
you
on, the down does, yeah.
we couldn't see the game, mate.
We did see Jiggy going on the hook. Sorry, a bit of a back end there, but anyway, we did see Jiggy going on the hook. It was another painless applied, and we went
Beautiful,
a very similar
beautiful.
situation to the previous game. Yeah.
So we do see
we did
two
see-
hooks,
oh,
two
bubble
fresh,
back.
and that very similar, almost identical to the prior game. Two hooks, two fresh, really early, and the pain res being utilized really, really well here. And like you said, we do see Metox on Killer 4K. Going back to proxy, that we do see the trade happening from the ace.
Oh,
He's gonna have to try and get a tag. What was that?
Yeah, that was
That's a
actually
lot of speed. Overcome.
That was yeah. That was a sprint burst, I believe. We did see Jiggy
Oh,
use that.
okay,
in the
okay.
first chase. I think they're walking around. Yeah. But actually,
I was
if
gonna say,
we
that was
just
a lot of
noticed a
speed.
bit of a micro interaction. We did see our ace there take the chain for Steve, so very lucky for them. Because if the Steve had taken the chain, then he would have been in the deep wound, so the endurance really wouldn't have done anything. Oh my gosh! Actually,
see.
Steve faking the window and getting Metox to swing as well. So not something you see that often in comp. As he does
Definitely gonna frustrate Metox here, and definitely gonna make him go after the Steve a little bit more. He does have to remember that fresh hooks are also quite important, obviously. So as good as it would be to get his hands on Steve, we do need to see some more fresh hooks coming in, make a better win con for his side here. We don't want to be drawing another set ideally, so he has to think really strategically here and keep an eye on those gens and his hex totem.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you are TK here, you've just drawn the first set, so you really want to keep it strong and try and take the second set if possible. But 4K1 against a killer of not your choice might not exactly be what you want, as Jiggy does win the 50s and actually has the parting as well. We call it the Jiggy parting. But does keep the chase going on. This is really well played from Steve here. And I think this will be the key turning point for Survivor side to secure, I believe this will be. Oh my gosh, and yet still not going down on the 4 lane. I think this Steve, again, it will be the key turning point for DK survivors to try and take the set point from DK's pick of the Cenobite here.
This Steve really is on form today. I don't know what he's been smoking, but it is working for sure. Very interesting loops, holding some good check spots, winding Metox up here. We are going to see.
Oh,
No, we
God.
don't see a tag. What's this guy on? This is some incredible performance right here. Despite being hit with the chain, it's still going on. Metox can't get a grip on him. Maybe it's time to leave chase. Put some pressure on those gens. Get some more fresh hooks. Because at the moment, they're giving the performance away. Metox, as a captain,
Oh my
has to
God.
realise he has to progress onto another survivor here. This can't be healthy.
I think Mitox here is just going to be frustrated here. Jiggy just absolutely
Oh,
rolling on
yeah,
Mitox here, and, giving the humps as well on the Steve.
I think
As he
that is
does lose the
definitely
full
well
generator to
deserved
trial.
there.
He does lose the full gen, and whether or not it's deserved, objectively, I'd say it's not really the best
True,
play,
very
but
true.
it is the Tycon and actually the win con as you see the final generator
Yeah, we do see
for
the fifth
Survivor
gen
side
being
to
popped,
play it.
and yeah, like you said before, Jiggy just managed to put on the stronger performance. Obviously, his team did pick Cenobite, and Decay obviously is not accustomed to that as much by the looks of it. We do see Decay obviously trying their best here, but it's clearly not their strongest killer. And obviously, with Steve's skills and capabilities, making things really difficult to keep an eye on everything here.
You know, now I think about it, I might have said that this set was picked by by TK, but yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it was picked by DK, so a bit of a stumble on my end. But actually, Metox here, we'll just try and get the chains onto Ace here. But yeah, I think we'll just be seeing a clean 4-man out here. 3-stage
Yeah, it's
performance on the
looking that
Cenobite,
way.
so extremely well played from our survivor set here. I think just yeah, again, Jiggy was the real turning point of uh of our survivor team, just taking that really long chase at the start. But we will be seeing after a short intermission if we can meet the similar side for survivors on the next set, which will be the mastermind on the Cold Tower. Welcome back, everybody. Now we did see DK steal the set point from TK. It was DK's pick though, but TK are looking to make the comeback on the Mastermind tiebreaker set, which will not really technically be our tiebreaker set because we will be going back to clan. We see Mastermind going to the main building. We see Alta take the first chase with the BL on the main building, and yet again I'm joined with my co-caster here, Untrained Pop.
Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Like Tabo did say, we do have a mastermind set here with, I do believe, a Decay on Killer. We're going to have to see a stronger performance here than the last set. We did see the Cenobite performance was a little bit lackluster, but like you said, it wasn't their pick, and both sides did play as good as they could. I'm excited to see how this goes down. I've not commentated too many mastermind sets in my day so far, so you're going to have to run through me a little bit how the strategy is on the Killer side, but I'm really excited to be commentating it. And we see an early tag, I think, on the near here, and it's looking really dangerous really early on. This is clearly an experienced mastermind.
What's going on here? Usually you don't really want to be taking hits on such a high tier killer so early in the game, but I guess perhaps this the reason why they're doing this is because Nia is an important exhaustion or an important perk build that they want to keep alive, which
Could she
usually is
be
going to be
Delhi,
the first.
perhaps? Is Delhi allowed against
Yeah,
mastermind?
Delhi's not allowed against Mastermind, as
Oh,
Ace does
hmm.
not able to get the bounce back and will just go down. You do see a bit of a totem build coming in from Mastermind. See a Ruin and Blood Flame
Oh.
on standard Corrupt and Painless. As I believe that top mid hook was a Painless and 20% off the highest progress generator there. And yeah, so I think yet again, we have Mitox on the killer. We've been seeing him play for TK throughout the entire season 2 for Bloodrush, and actually
Wow.
managing to find our injured and the reset here on 7. So we'll just be committing this chase on both survivors, as I think we'll have to be seeing the reset also coming through onto Ace in the background.
So the captain really pulling his weight for his team, then playing killer majority of the time, if not all of the time, as you did state. We are going to see the tag happen on the Nia. I do believe she got caught out earlier on. This is her second hook, I do believe. I could be wrong. We're about to find out.
Oh,
But I do
I think
believe
it's
this
just the
should
first
be.
hook.
Okay. My
Nah, it just got
mistake.
tagged and left, yeah.
Ah, okay, I see, I see. I do know she was tagged earlier on. So we do see another fresh hook and another pain res coming into play. Definitely going to aid things here for the killer. We need to see him trying to keep an eye on them gens. Save power, obviously, for chases. We do see a very early end hook. I'm not sure that that's the best strategic play here. But nonetheless, it's happened. And what do we need to see here from the survivors? With so much early game pressure from the killer.
I think we just need to see our survivors play really confidently and manage their resource and health states efficiently here because our Nia's going to be going down yet again and put onto another hook, and it'll be the second stage for it'll be Toy yet again. Going to be the tunnel out, similar to our fan game of the first set, but they'll be chucked onto the hook yet again as Metox will just be blinded by a firecracker for no reason. Usually that's why we don't have firecrackers in EU. But bouncing here has not changed since they were bugged. Hold on, what am I saying? Sorry, when the firecrackers got bugged, the bouncing had already been made. So like, there's
No, that is fair enough.
nothing
I do
changed about it.
understand. Obviously, there are some inconsistent bugs sometimes in this lovely game, and we have to deal with it the best we can. We do see the tag to the Nia through the window. Slightly questionable there, but nevertheless, we do see the tag, and that is going to be a confirmed kill. Really good so far for Decay. Confirmed kill at 4 gens. Insanely good. We could be looking at maybe a 4K2, 4K1 scenario here with such early game pressure. But as I mentioned out, we do see a gen popping. So Decay really trying to push now, understanding how the situation is going to go with it being a 3v1. What are we going to see here from the killer?
I think we're gonna see probably I'll just predict a 4K1 right now, but don't quote me on that in a couple of minutes time because we do see both our teams here. They're actually one of they're both kind of like top in terms of the efficiency and the
Mhm.
play quality of the killers. They're both got very efficient gens and very good game sense. So I believe both sides will try and fight it out. But I think it will be a 4K1. But again, don't quote me.
And we do see down there on the Steve, once again, the killer really trying to work on the gen progress here. We do obviously see Paymres at no eruption. So he's going to have to keep going back, kicking them gens, keep an eye and try and visually use line of sight to keep an eye on them gens. And they are split pretty heavily across the map. So he's going to have to kind of proxy cam this hook, I think. We do see the Paymres coming into play on that generator, top right corner of the map. He needs to go and protect that, also being aware that maybe main building might be worked on. So it's going to be a really difficult call for this killer to multitask so much and also try and keep an eye on that hook.
Yeah, it will be. So I think all he really needs to do is catch the survivors rotating, which actually has not successfully been done as the unhook does come in to our Steve here. And actually, they'll be trying to stop the regression on this bottom mid generator as it was pretty high percentage. I think I did see a fourth piston moving before got kicked. But we did see it get repaired a little bit by Steve here. So Steve really not really much to work with except a shack window vault. And Nitox playing actually I was gonna say impatient there because I didn't think he would make it, but actually does get the double dash onto our Steve as the generator
And we
at
do
one
see
does
another
pop.
gen pops. Really good stuff for Decay. And Decay obviously going to have to apply a bit more pressure now, be a bit more aggressive in their playstyle. We do see Steve going second as a result of that. And Decay's killer dashing center map, knowing gens are being worked on, managing to get the survivors off of the gen. But I undoubtedly think somebody else will be kind of coming in, rotating in to be working on that gen. We're probably going to see a balanced play here from the ace, and we do in fact see balanced, really unique play there going towards main.
Yeah, and Metox actually here deciding to leave. Perhaps thinking that our ace would keep the chase on them for a bit too long. Actually, yes, that's right. This gen here is gonna pop quite soon. So Metox really needs to try and get the down and just secure the 4K1 and the 2v1 here. Oh, but a little bit of the
Oh,
bug going on there. And actually the successful body block hit from Venato will come in. So actually extremely well played from DK's side, managing to secure the generator at 9 and keep the Steve alive. I think this Renato just slow vaulted because to try and conserve the life there. And they do manage
that
to
would
pop
make
it.
sense.
and keep the chase going. And we do see the spray on Steve in the background. They're already rotated to the top side of the map, so it is
And we do
actually
see the
not
Ronaldo going
impossible.
down as well.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, Steve. Oh, sorry. I just got confused for no reason.
All right.
Yeah, it's actually not impossible for our survivors to get all the gens done here after what I thought was a pretty rough start with near dying at 4 gens remaining.
That was our last pain res, and regarding that perk, that is all she wrote for this killer. They're going to have to play a lot more aggressively here, using power to traverse the map. We do also see that Blood Favor is gone, so is Ruin. The killer running with no perks right now. Really, really dire. Going to have to keep an eye on this main building gen, and yeah, that unhook has happened. Not the best situation for this killer.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward for our survivors here. They do have 2 gens on the bottom side, but crucially, that main generator is of course you want to have the balanced landing survivor work for main generator, but a balanced landing survivor is the only one who's healthy. So down will just come onto Minato yet again as Ace actually decides to work the bottom generator yet again. We do see it's on, I think, low progress. I think that was the one that was on really high progress before, but now looks to be on around 20. So but, I might be wrong there. It might be a completely different generator. Actually, yeah, it is. Wait, hold on.
We do see
I
Renata
don't know.
there going second. Obviously, really good situation here for Decay. The only worry is, like I said before, he doesn't have any perks to work with right now, and that's going to make it really hard for him to keep an eye on these gens to make sure that they're not being progressed. So inevitably, we are going to see another gen pop here. It's just a matter of time. It's just a time management game. Maybe you can get another down or an extra tag before that does happen. We do see chase happening here with the Steve, and he should maybe be able to get it down, but the Steve really, really holding a good check spot, managing to go over that pallet there. We didn't see life, I don't think. Although maybe we might actually have seen life. I could be wrong, but he managed to get a lot of distance there just from 1 volt. We do see Steve going kind of edge map here on the Z wall, and we are going to see a tag. There's not much to work with here. Really holding a really tight check spot, really prolonging and extending the chase, and here it comes the down.
Here comes the down and the kill onto Steve. So we'll be in the 2v1 now to see what uh, Ace and Renato can do. See if they can get another gen done, which actually is the case. They're doubling that bottom mid generator. So again, don't quote me on the 4K1 because it is now potentially even stages out of the door. Because yeah, that last generator is done, and the case are, I think, somewhat split from what I saw.
Hmm.
So yeah, Mitox will just try and balance between trying to defend this gate at, I believe, 2 and 10. So he does see scratch marks at 2 though, so you know someone's here. Signs of life. And no blood, so it is the healthy survivor. So I think DK survivors will be able to try and get 2 stages out the door here. Actually, maybe. Oh, okay, no,
He
never
does
mind. This
find the
is
Renato.
Renato.
Standing corrected here. We do have the Renato caught out of position, trying to work on that exit gate there. Going to be looping main here, trying for window. Is being cut off and zoned out by Mitox here, and going to get the down. And yeah, we are seeing him being left. And we are going to get a 3K here, and even a cheeky little Mori as well. Really good play from both sides there, managing to get 5 gens done. Obviously, did Decay, and Tecay, Metox playing really well on Killer. We're going to take a short break here as we go into an intermission before we start the second half of that set. Thank you for having us, and we will be back shortly.
What's going on, guys? We're into the potential last set of TK versus DK on the Mastermind on the Cold Tower. Do you see an immediate stun coming from our Lara here as they take the chase onto the 4 lane? Not the strongest of tiles, but you can waste a bit of time against any killer as Jiggy does this double dash. Yet again, tonight, I'm joined with my co-caster, Untrained Puppy. Now, we've been going about these sets, giving our predictions. So, what do you think, Untrained Puppy? Prediction
I'm
of the build.
hoping
what do you think,
for a 4K1, ideally, depending on obviously how efficient they are on Killer here. Obviously, Jiggy has been really efficient with most killers we've seen him play, as you did state earlier on. But I do assume this was Takei's pick, so maybe this isn't his most efficient killer. So I think it's going to be a really tight one. But me personally, I'm hoping for a 4K1 with a lot of hits and, like you said, a lot of really tight looping from the survivors. and it's just going to be really, really action packed, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this tiebreaker set will play out. Because it is make or break for TK here, as they are down 1-0, so they do need to win this set here. Last set, our TK killer Medox did manage to achieve a 10-stage result. All four fresh hooks achieved, of course, on the 10th stage. However,
Mm-hmm.
they are off to a bit of a start here. Hold on the Survivor set. They've actually gotten and delayed this first hit for quite a while, and it is only now that our ace player here does take the first tag of the trial, and we do see the corrupt timer actually on the build is ticking towards 0. So this is actually 2 minutes without a singular down occurring. So very well played to our survivors. Actually, ace also managing to dodge the dash
And
there. The first generator is completed.
we do manage to see that first generator come in, as you said. And yeah, the ace doing really, really well here to kind of just extend chase and avoid going down. Obviously, we do see that he has taken a tag, but some really good check spotting here. Mind gaming the killer. I think he's going to get caught out here. Oh, slight whiff there. Double whiff. And he is going to be granted the pallet because of that. Really, really unlucky here for Jiggy. Deciding not to break that pallet, instead going around. We do see a second gen popping, a third gen even. I stand corrected, my apologies. Chase is going to be continued. I think Jiggy really needs, and we see the taunt there. I think Jiggy really needs to cut off this chase. It's unhealthy. He needs to go to another survivor. Getting this one particular fresh hook is not going to make that much of a difference, and he's already wasted so much time. But we do actually see the down here. Really bad start for Jiggy. What do we need to see him do? What needs to change?
What needs to change? Well, the game's pretty much on the survivor's hand now. Ace even managing to keep the chase in the bottom side and get hook bottom side. So now this 4-gen top side is not really campable if you're trying to camp the hook. And yeah, Jiggy off to just absolutely horrid start. It's the nightmare scenario of missing the dashes on survivors. But hey, I mean, I guess Jiggy got lucky or played well, however you want to call it, in the center back game. And same thing happened to, I believe, Alkali here on the ace. On that first chase, he just absolutely destroyed Jiggy with whatever he did there. But yeah, I think Jiggy just has to. Ah man, I don't even know what to say. What Jiggy has to do because I mean,
It's a rough miss there as well.
feels
It's
over
not
already.
going his way. I think
Losing game as
honestly
well.
we're going to see this set being won by Decay. I don't want to call it before it's over. I don't want to call it too early, but yeah, it's really looking bad for Jiggy here. We don't see a Noed either, so that's going to make end game really, really difficult to call. We do see the entire build mainly being around gen regression, and with the fact that he's already lost 3 gens due to that chase with the ace. Yeah, it's not the best scenario. We're going to see him try and get some tags here, and a 4th gen has popped, and all the survivor side really, really looping really well, confusing the killer, Jiggy not knowing what to do, missing some hits here. It's really unlucky for him. I think we're going to see Tecay winning this set. Yeah, and we still have to have that clown set replayed as well. So I'm excited for that. But right now, I think Decay is going to be taking this one.
I would completely agree with that. Jiggy, I guess it's just perhaps not his most refined killer. And our survivors here on the TK side are just playing this extremely patient and also dodging the dashes really well, as you see Ace and Chase yet again. And my bad, it did rhyme, but not intended, as a double dash yet again misses. Actually, has
That was
Jiggy even
finesse.
hit a double dash? It was finesse indeed, but
Finesse on the
has
Lara.
Jiggy
Interesting
hit a double
play.
dash?
I think he did. We're going to see
I don't
the
think he
killer
did.
Jiggy going back to keep an eye on this gen here. Catching a Renato out of position. We've got to hope that he can get a bit more consistency here. He does manage to get the tag, manage to get the dash. Obviously, there is going to be some value there from that for the survivor. Potentially overcome, I'm not 100% sure. We do see a sprint burst on the Claudette. Also, finally, Jiggy coming back with the consistency with the dashes, managing to get multiple tags, resulting in a little bit of a slowdown here. But is it too little too late? As we see 4 gens have been done, they are maybe going to have to use the serum thing to avoid being exposed and slowed down later on. But right now, yeah, we do see Jiggy making a little bit of a comeback here. What do you think?
I think our survivors are chilling here. They've still got 4 in the trial, and they've got this gen very high progress. The reset just came in on Renato, and they're probably going to get sprayed soon as well. When you have 4 survivors in the trial, it's very difficult as the killer to keep the generators from going. So you kind of have to try and get into the 3v1 as quickly as possible. Which, friendly
I agree.
reminder, thanks to Ace here, has
Mhm.
not really been possible to try and get any kind of tunnel out because that first chase was just way too long. Again, a nightmare start. And I do remind everyone out there, there's a platform called YouTube, which people do like to upload very long chases on. So wouldn't be surprised if I'll
Oh no. Oh
bit off
no, we're
here.
going to see that one going on YouTube. And it was a very, very good chase. Like you said, we do see a tag here on the Claudette. And oh, Blood Favor finally dishing out some value here. As we're going to see, slightly unlucky there. Claudette managing to get the vault there, managing to evade Jiggy here. And yeah, like you said, really, really difficult to manage this with 4 survivors still being in the game. We now see Lara coming in, lining up. Really good comms here from the team. Just managing to take hits. Decay really on point, knowing the game is over. That last gen has actually popped in the background, which I did not notice. Like you said, the survivors here, they're just toying around. They know they've got the win. It's been a bad result for Jiggy here, and we are going to be going next. But right now, Jiggy is going to try and get a last hit, and yeah, just maintain the best situation he can out of this, I guess. Salvage as much as he can.
You know, all hope isn't lost when the killer has dual beetle. But I think with that tag, I think we're seeing the four man, I guess. Well, not really 4-man. You know what I mean? Whatever, it's the common
Yeah.
phrase. Yeah. The four
4-man out or a
escape
3-man
from the
out.
survivor team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're confirming, at least confirming 8 stages right now out of the door. Venato is stuck in the main building though. But I think they'll be able to make it out through hatch or wherever.
Yeah, he should be able to find a way out. Obviously, this slows down breaking a breakable wall. It does kind of zone the Renato a little bit here, as we do see Jiggy breaking the other breakable wall. But now we're going to see the Ace coming in, trying to take a hit. I think the Renato is healthy. Yeah, the Renato is healthy. So, yeah, we see a 4-man out here for sure. And, yeah, just really, really tough game for Jiggy. And he's done the best he can, obviously. Like you said, it's probably not his most played killer, but he is obviously the captain. He is trying to put in the big plays for his team, and unfortunately this time it's just not come off, especially with that really long chase, as you said, from the Ace. Didn't do him any favours, and a little bit of an overcommit from Jiggy. And yeah, Tecay just taking this one.
Yeah, Tecay will comfortably take this, and one stage there, but I feel like Jiggy did accept his fate into that. But we'll be the 1-1, and we'll be replaying the Kenneth Chase set, the clown set on the Cold Tower 1 Legendary. But we'll be going into that after a short intermission.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We do have a replay here of our clown set between Tecay and Decay. This is Blood Rush League. Welcome in. I'm here with my favourite caster, Tavo. How do we think this is going to go, seeing that they did previously tie? What do you think is going to happen? And maybe the build's going to change. What do you think?
I feel like our killers are going to stick to what they had before. I feel like our survivors might change it up a little bit, but usually I feel like in a best of 2, usually you just keep the perks the same. So I'd assume that the perk builds of the survivors are going to stay consistent and same as our clan. But they might switch which players have what exhaustion and so on, just to make it a little bit more difficult for the killer to try and predict what they have. But yes, killer indeed is a clown Kenneth Chase on the Cold Tower as they take the chase towards the main building and will be throwing down the pink bottles to try and slow down and get the first tag. But we do see a lava clock here
coming in to take the hit.
Wild lava clock. Yeah, and that will mean that they can make the pallet.
I'm really curious what the play is there. Are we just trying to delay fresh hooks here? Because Ace isn't running anything particularly special, so I can only but assume that it is to delay fresh hooks from happening, to extend the chases a bit longer, to allow them a bit more time to get the gens done and get a better early start. We see a really good check spot being held here at, I want to say, Godrock. We do see a swing and a miss there from the clown. Slightly unlucky. Once again, we see another set where the Ace is doing godly things. similar to the set we had prior. And yeah, we're just
Oh,
seeing some very, very interesting plays. Right now, the killer cannot be happy about this. This is just some godly check spotting. And gonna get caught out of place. No, still, this is 1v1 kind of jokes. And surely the generators are being worked on here. Godrock absolutely being abused. This 50-50 being also abused. And I'm sorry to
coup de
say,
grace, actually. Wait, I think that was coup
the
de grace,
clown,
actually.
maybe, if he manages to get a hit here, I guess we're going to see. But right now, yeah, that's not coup de grace. Right now, what we are seeing, yeah, this is absolutely insane plays. And the ace eventually just saying, come get me then, come have the hook.
No, I can definitely say that Jiggy's been out of bottles for a good 1 minute now. Or however long that was, because that chase was just insanity on the
Yeah,
God
that was really interesting to see, very exciting. I don't want to say that's lost Chiggy the game because that's a bit too preemptive, but it's worth mentioning that that was a lot of valuable time lost, and we have seen 3 generators pop and be worked on, and it's going to make things really, really difficult. He's going to have to try and apply a lot of pressure, also confirm second stage here, and as somebody with low mobility as the clown, it's going to be really, really difficult for him to do that. I'm not sure the best condition he can sort of go for. I think maybe we're looking at 6 stages if he can pull that off, maybe 4 realistically. What do you think?
I think it's just going to be difficult for him to try and get much out of this as well, since we just see the failed trade coming in. Actually, not a trade; it's a completely clean pull, and then Jiggy just hit unhooked Survivor, which is still in animation, so it didn't go into the deep wound at all, and so
I know what you
the
mean.
attack didn't come into Claudette. So yeah, just again, things just not really going way for Jiggy on the clown here, which does get the down and Claudette though, so things might get good here with the famous. But still a lot of work to do to try and set a good win condition for his survivor team to try and meet. As yeah, Claudette will go up onto the hook, and yeah, it was good to go actually. I
Oh,
was not seeing things
I
in
didn't
good
really see
bar.
much difference in the I don't know what the right word is. Usually, you see a lot more of a sort of push in the animation when the killer is going for the swing, and it's usually a lot more obvious. I really couldn't catch on to that there. So I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't utilized because is it automatic now? Because I think it was a prompt, wasn't it? I don't know if it's automatic now, but but yeah, I really didn't notice that much of a difference with the animation. So I'm kind of questioning what happened there. Maybe a bug with how it visually looks.
Yeah, I feel like the first time it was used definitely on the God palette, it was a bit noticeable, but then
Mhm.
for the previous times, I don't know, whatever. Well, I mean, look, only realistically only like 2 tags have come in from the coup de grace. It is
Mhm.
quite a strong perk in comps. It does kind of break the 1v1 kind of play style. You're not
Yeah,
expecting a killer to lunge from an extra 80% away, so
exactly. It's going
luckily
to
for
make the
survivors though.
survivors be on their toes and have to play a lot more carefully, especially now that they know that they're going up against coup de grace. And we do see Chase on the Renate, but also another survivor nearby. So we might be seeing multiple tags here with only I want to say 1 generator left. Yep, correct. With only 1 generator left, things aren't looking the best here for Jiggy. We're going to try and see some additional downs and maybe an additional fresh hook or 2. And like I said, I think 4 stage win con is maybe the best he's going to be able to pull out of this. Although actually, now that I see it, we do see Noed in his back pocket. Maybe we can, after all, see a 6 stage. It just depends on how he plays this out. What do you think?
I think it's just very difficult for him to pull off much here. Even with the Noid, you kind of need to, you know, uh, secure the kill
Back it with
with
something
4
else.
players
Oh
in
yeah,
the trial.
this is true.
And the Noid, if the Noid is an unlucky spawn, then it is not impossible to get 2 stage, I would say. Especially
Mhm.
with 3 other survivors being healthy. Actually, there might be 99ing this gen, because I feel like my internal clock is telling me that this gen is indeed 99. They're just waiting to pop it, and actually, maybe I'm wrong. Because it just popped at very strange moment, so maybe it wasn't 99. Because there's another Gen that popped, and
I think
Lava
it's
will be
interesting
flubbed on the hook
timing
at the game.
because they've, how can I put it? Jiggy has managed to get the hook at a decent time where it's not very obvious that Noed is active, apart from obviously the killer's movement speed. So it could come as a little bit of a shock to the survivors here, because obviously we didn't see it sort of light up when you get the down. So it's going to be a little bit of a stealthy surprise. Oh, no, the
Found
survivors
it.
are aware of it. I stand corrected. No surprises anymore, and they know what's coming. So the survivors going to have to be really strategic here and maybe just take the 3 out. But they do know where it is. But the clown putting a lot of pressure on that, but you can't camp that and the hook. So what does he do here? Jiggy kind of stuck in the mud.
I think Jiggy just needs to commit it down in the no-ed. Secure the kill. Because at this point, now that unhooks happen, you've got 2 survivors stuck here at Shack. And you kind of need it down within 20 seconds, because I believe that no-ed totem is either getting cleansed or this ace is just going to get down, and they're going to accept a 4-stage here, because our ace has already been hooked. So it'll be a 4-stage here on the clan. Extremely good performance from our survivor set here, but I feel like Jiggy did kind of overreach on the first chase on the ace, maybe not really taking the rational decision to break the pallet and zone our ace, and just heading into the nasty 50s, which resulted in a very long chase. But yeah, 4-stage win con is going to be really rough for survivor set of Decay to try and meet as we go into a short intermission. Welcome back, everybody, to potentially the last set, which I think will be the last set. So the last set of DK versus TK. DK managing to get a 4-stage result on the killer of the clan on the cold tower. You heard that right. Again, we have the Mr. Kenneth chase on the cold tower in competitive Dead by Daylight, as the chase does take place on the main building. Door's not broken though. Metox deciding to hold W and try and catch either Nato around the main building. But based on the performance from last trial, Untrained Puppy, my co-caster, what do you think this Venato has to do in chase?
I think he really has to pull off something godlike here. He's going to have to manage to make a chase work for 3 gens almost. As we saw, only a 4-stage win con set by Decay, by Jiggy in the last match. So yeah, Renato has to do a lot, and you could have dropped that pallet there, buddy. I feel like he already knows, maybe. Or maybe there was a survivor in the midst. Yes, there was. In fact, there was the Steve. Had sprint burst at the ready. He was looking for the pallet save, so that confidence was a little bit misplayed there. I mean, obviously, we do see that the Steve was available, but the killer did read that like a pack of cards. Kind of like a DS play almost, knowing what was coming and that there was something not quite right about how it looked. Right now, we do see 2 of them in this area, and it's going to slow down less people on gens. And I do apologise. What were you going to say, Tavos?
I was going to say I do respect our survivor side from DK here. Oh, yeah, survivor side from DK here, going for the palisade. You just want to be trying to buy as much time as possible for the first chase, and going for the palisade is really the easiest way to do that. But yeah, they have pulled off the unhook in the background, but given away a stage already in the early game. Not really the start you want when we do see that Metox does indeed no ed. It is a common trait for our M1 survivors, M1 killers to indeed no ed. But yeah, Metox here does indeed no ed, as we see it. The rightmost perk, the 6 skulls there.
Yeah, I see. We also see a really interesting one from Metox. We see rapid brutality there. Apologies, it would not come to my mouth. We see rapid brutality going to allow him some extra haste. That in combination with the yellow bottles is going to help speed things up, help him get a nice early down. And we do already see 2 stages. We do have 2 gens popping as well. Really different build here from Metox, really going for early hits and short chases, knowing what the risk-reward situation is, really wanting to get his team this set and, of course, the victory. How do you think that's going to factor into the chases?
That was absolutely disgusting. Now, yeah, actually, we didn't really talk about the build that Metox brought. that much. Well, specifically the deadlock, because really the other three perks are a bit self-explanatory on the clown. I believe if you're a fan of Otzdava, and quite a while ago he made a video about a top tier clown making a very long guide about the ideal clown build that you want, and I believe Rapid Brutality was on that build. But anyway, that top perk Deadlock, I think it was actually quite a smart droid by Metox here, because really the only way that you would lose a 4-stage win con is if you're absolutely juiced at the start, and Deadlock would block the next generator for 25 seconds. So very solid slowdown choice there for the situation that he's going for, which is 4 stages. Yeah.
And the way it's being played right now, I think Metox should have no problem getting that 4 stages. I do think we're on 3 at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. We are now, if we weren't before. Getting another down here on the Renato. And yeah, the Survivors obviously trying their hardest here, but it might be an unachievable win con for them to manage to achieve, really.
Yeah, I think this is the fourth book here, but Jiggy might be fresh. So yeah, I think. Oh, okay, wait. So it'll be the third here. Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't really been keeping track, and I think the UI also does kind of muck up here. But
It
maybe it
does,
is
yeah.
indeed the fourth book here. So I think if this is indeed the fourth book on 3 fresh survivors, then it will actually be the win coming in from Decay. But again, I might have spoken too soon because the UI has been kind of buggy lately, and since the
I
release
agree,
of
I
that new
agree.
perk, Shoulder the Burden, I don't know what's been going on with Shoulder the Burden, but it's been like mucking up the whole stages a lot. So might be
We do see
might be
a
not
miss
four
there,
stages yet.
unfortunately, from Metox. The Nia managing to get value out of life, setting herself up there. Really, really good stuff. And we do see the Steve on top left corner of that loop as well, coming in, waiting things out, trying to get a little bit of a distraction on the clown. We are going to see taking a hit here. Like I said before, 2 gens left still. Metox going into the tunnel out, trying to cut off Chase, trying to intercept. Instead, deciding to leave it now after breaking that breakable wall. And I can only assume taking chase towards Steve, knowing that Steve is the more confident one here, and trying to sort of keep chases extended and managing to get them pallet saves.
Unfortunate timing there for Metox there, just doubling back as soon as Steve went to run and hold the W key. But I think it's kind of inevitable that a down would happen, especially against the clown. But maybe I'm speaking too soon because the main generator does get popped and Steve is still healthy here. So good distraction by Steve here, managing to pull away Metox's attention. Now, if I recall correctly, these are the 2 survivors. These are the 2 players which are having a nice interaction, or maybe not nice, depending how you depending how you classify it. In the Cenobite game, and
Yes.
yeah, we'll take the M1 now.
But I do think the roles are reversed, I think, here. Oh, head-on play from the Nia. Quite a bit of arrogance, and if that is the little compensation they can get with the set being very close to being lost here, at least they can say it was something in the post-game chat that they did manage to get a head-on. And we are going to see the Steve going down here. Yes, an M1 hit. Ace trying to come in for the hit. Not managing to do that on time, though. Slightly unlucky and a little bit miscommed there. This is going to put the nail in the coffin, unfortunately, I believe, and grant Decay the win.
Yeah, if it wasn't already game over by now, it will be game over now, as the Steve just went down, because this will definitely be another fresh hook of the trial. And actually, what the hell just happened? Ace was just following behind, and Metox was.
That's
Didn't
kind of
really
funny.
care.
They are
So,
definitely goofing, but if you can't have fun, what can you do?
yeah, and Ace going on to second there, so it's definitely a win con achieved by Metox here. So TK going to take the 2-1 victory over DK in the best of 3 here, which has been extended since the first time clown, of course, meant that I don't have to replay. But yeah, I think survivors will just take the outs. There's not really much more for this game to go on for. And yeah, again, TK came back. They were 1-0 down in the first set, and did manage to come back, taking the reverse sweep onto DK there. So well played to them. And before we sign out, Untrained Puppy, have you got any last words?
I would just say it was really impressive to see, like you said, the comeback. Obviously, we did have a tied set there. Obviously, we had to replay the clown set. Both sides played really, really well, and we saw some really interesting plays from Survivor and Killer. And I hope we get to see them play against each other again. It was really, really entertaining stuff. And thank you once again for having me as well.
Okay, well, thank you everybody who's been watching and listening to Blood Rush League Season 2, with TK versus DK. And that's me, Tavi, signing off. Untrained Puppy, you want to sign off for us?
Yes, thank you for stopping by and watching this amazing gameplay with us. We'll be seeing you in the next one. Keep an eye on the Discord for the next match, and everybody have a lovely evening.